saying hello today from the Lang Pioneer Village just outside of Peterborough, Ontario, with local expert Julia, who's one of the costumed historical interpreters. Let me show off her outfit. And we are in front of which building now?
This is the Fitzpatrick House, Michael and Suzanne Fitzpatrick, and it was located actually just off Highway 7 on Highway 30. And this is we regard this as the second home of the settler from 1825 to 1846. So now they've built a bigger home, and they would use that cabin as a drive shed or a barn, and it would build up their farm.
So these are real houses now, not just
These were real houses. This came from the Fitzpatrick homestead.
And you've got a nice garden here. This would have been a settler's garden as well?
It would. The corn they would have had in a field. But we don't have that. But pumpkins were very important. We have tomatoes, beans, peas, squash. We have our herb garden. So this time of year now they're starting to cut herbs and they'll start drying them.
Right.
And then in the winter when their food isn't as fresh, they could use herbs to season it up and that. Their beans and things like that, they would start drying them. And then they would use this bean seeds and that, and they could boil in water just like we do now, and then have fresh beans.
Wonderful. Before we head inside the Fitzpatrick house, I wanted to show you one thing. Over here in this corner is what is the cabin called?
The Fife cabin.
The Fife cabin, the oldest building in the complex, 1825. But here is a temporary attraction in this location here. Some Kawartha artists are here. You guys have a gallery and studios in Peterborough, right?
Yes, we do.
And you're here actually today painting. What are you painting? Obviously you're painting the Fife cabin. Watercolor. Let me show off your work. I should get your name as well.
My first name is Wanda. My last name is Daoud.
Okay, great, excellent. And what are you painting here? Same idea,
Same.
different? No, same technique.
Yeah.
Watercolor. What's your name, please?
Carol.
Carol.
Yeah.
Last name?
Story.
Story. Wonderful. Well, I had a look already. I had a chat with your colleague Vera.
Vera Penrose.
Right, and she showed me the collection in the room over there, which is just wonderful. Well, you guys have a perfect day today.
Yeah, that's terrific.
And your works are going to be exhibited here for a while?
Until October.
Until October, so people can come here and check out your artwork. That's great. Well, good luck. Enjoy. You have a perfect day.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And now we're going to head inside the Fitzpatrick house. Again, we have the wooden log construction with the mortar still. And here already...
This is me. This is Heather, one of our volunteers.
Okay, great. Also in historic costume.
Oh, for sure. We're not allowed to be anything but.
That's good. That's good. Keeps it more authentic that way.
So this is the Fitzpatrick house, and the Fitzpatrick family lived here in the 1840s. There was a mom and dad and 8 kids. That's mom and dad's bedroom there.
Oh, here. Huh, this is a real bedroom already.
Yes, well this is the real house.
Actually, this is very nicely decorated. You could show this on HGTV.
Yes.
Very nice. And a quilted blanket here.
Quilt.
Really?
I think that's the log cabin.
Yes.
Wow, another quilt over here.
So this house is pretty much the way the Fitzpatricks have, when they lived in it.
Okay.
This fire was used for heating. Mom and Dad had to get up in the night to keep the fire.
To keep it going, yeah.
And then these are all cooking utensils. So for instance, if you wanted to bake cookies, this arm goes over...
And you would bake it over the open fire?
Right, we do that all the time.
Yes. Really?
Actually, usually we are cooking.
Oh, okay.
It's hot today.
I'm missing the good stuff, okay.
Yeah, you're missing the good stuff.
Okay.
Now this is used for cooking meat. So,
meat?
Your original rotisserie. So you put your on here, this rotates, and so this actually faces into the fire.
Okay. And somebody would manually have to turn it up.
Yes, yeah. Now this actually gets really hot.
Yeah.
So you'd have to use, a pad on your hand. Or,
I would think so, yeah.
They used candles for lighting. Their wax was rendered down animal fat. This is a candle maker.
Candle maker.
So apparently it took about 400 candles to get through a winter.
It would take a lot, yeah.
So they
I
had
think
to make...
no electricity, of course, 1840s.
Oh my goodness,
yeah,
no.
far away from that stuff.
Yeah. There was no running water, so this was used for hauling water. So this is
you would carry the buckets.
A yoke, and so this is an adult yoke.
Yeah.
And so one of the kids actually would be doing this.
Nice job.
And so I'm not used to carrying water.
Yeah, no kidding.
So this is how
not an easy
how
job.
They got their water.
Yeah. That's what donkeys are for. I know, you need this donkey.
They had 8 kids.
Yeah, well, that's what kids are for, right? You get them to work.
The sons.
Yeah.
And of course, they had smaller yolks for kids and stuff.
Exactly.
Now around here you see lots of vegetables in the huge garden.
Lovely flowers.
Yeah, they have beautiful
heirloom vegetables.
These are all out of the garden. Now you see all the drying. So they dried a lot of their stuff from now on. And actually, a little bit later, these pumpkins would be sliced into slices and hung on strings. Pumpkin, squash, apples. And so this would all be dried.
And it would be eaten later as in dried form?
Well, you know what? About a month ago, we had dried pumpkin from last year, and we soaked it in milk and cooked it up and made a pie out of it.
You're kidding?
That's what they would do.
Perfect form of preservation.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very.
Didn't have any refrigeration.
Exactly.
Yep.
A wash basin in the corner?
Yeah, there's 2 of them. So we actually use those to wash our dishes.
Oh, yeah?
Usually, if I'm cooking, I usually boil water in one of these pots because there's no boiling water.
Right.
And so there's the cloths that you would use for cleaning and stuff like
Very
that.
interesting. Can I ask you what this room is over here?
That's the parlor.
Parlor.
And so that was used for company.
Okay.
And actually, that was the decorated room in the house.
Oh, wow.
So they actually painted the walls. They would use barks of trees or some kind of plant for color.
Really?
And actually that's how they colored their wool too.
Yeah.
So if you wanted colored wool, you might use some onion skins or like a plant.
Flowers, grind it up and...
and boil it in with the wool or the lime wash.
Interesting. What's up on the second floor?
8 kids slept up there.
Okay.
So there's 2 bedrooms, and then there's a general purpose room. So up on the second floor there's huge drying racks which they used for in the fall for drying. As I said, all their fruits and a lot of their vegetables. And then there's some extra beds. There's a couple of spinning wheels upstairs.
Okay, I'll check that out in a second. Thank you so much.